Hello and good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello and good evening, everyone. If you're ready, we can start our third class. Okay. So last session we talked about chapter 2, details of chapter 1, including research objective, research question, and problem statement of the research. And also we talked about topic and talk about that how can we choose a topic, what is the specification of a good topic, and what is the criteria to choose a good topic for your research. And today we will continue our discussion about writing thesis for chapter 2. It means that today we want to focus on literature review and different type of approach for research. I will talk about this. As I mentioned before, chapter 1 will include your chapter. The chapter 1 of your research may include background, introduction, research question, research objective, problem statement, and maybe significance of your study, and also we can call it as a proposal of your research. And then after you finish this chapter, you should start to read journal articles and books and start to literature review. It means that you should read them and critically analyze them. And then I'll put this information in chapter 2 under literature review. So let's start our discussion about literature review by next slide. Okay, up to here. If you have any question from last session or session 1, you can ask me now. If you don't have a question, we can continue. Mr. Nawabi, Mr. Navid, and I think Ms. Shugofa. If you have a question, you can ask me now. If you don't have any question, we can continue. Just let me know. All right. Okay. Okay. So we continue. All right. Thank you. So the outline of today's presentation is critically reviewing the literature in terms of process, approach, skills, and sources. Reasons for reviewing the literature. So always I ask you to read lots of journal articles, and then I ask you to review this literature. So why? Why is it important for every researcher that do lots of literature review in his or her research? Okay, because to conduct a preliminary search of existing material, because when you do the literature review, you can understand that what research have you done up to now. Okay, to organize valuable ideas and findings, so you can organize this idea and finding, to identify other research that may be in progress. Also, sometimes you can realize that when you do the when you do literature review, you can realize that, okay, maybe this research is in progress. So again, this topic cannot be your topic, all right? And then to generate research ideas, to develop a critical perspective. So many times when we don't have a specific idea or we cannot find a good topic for our research, one of the ways that we can choose the topic and find the topic for our research is that literature review. Because when we read, we can understand about the ideas, about information, about the knowledge, about the all the things that exist in terms of our field. Okay, so this is very important. And now, okay, now I see two questions in the chat box. Okay, Mr. Navodi asked me that which data comes under literature, which category of data can be reviewed. All right, I will explain this question in this class, but in next slide, okay? So let's finish this presentation. If you still have this question, again ask me, because I think this presentation will cover your answer of this question. Thank you. Okay, so now we understand that the reason for reviewing the literature, right? So the critical review approach used. All right, in every research or thesis that we do, okay, we have two kind of approach, or it means there is a two way that we can do the literature review or we can do the research. So it is deductive and inductive. So when you read about the research methodology, if you read research methodology books or if you read any article or publication about research methodology, sometimes you see these two words, inductive research or deductive research. So you should be familiar with these two special words in terms of research methodology, okay? So deductive develops a conceptual framework from the literature which is then tested using the data. But inductive explores the data to develop theories which are then tested against the literature. So there are two ways, there are two methods, there are two approaches for your thesis, for your doing your research. Now I explain again what's deductive and inductive. So this is the whole idea that research type divides to deductive and inductive, okay? Now with the detail, as I told you in this slide, deductive develop a conceptual framework from literature, then tested and using the data. It means first you have literature, then you test the hypothesis, your data. But in inductive, they explore the data to develop theories which are then tested against the literature. So if you want to see the picture, it's very more clear. So deductive like this, you have first theory, then you go to the hypothesis of your research, then you have observation, and then you have confirmation. Okay, so from top to down, theory, hypothesis, observation, and confirmation. So you should have this map in your mind for deductive approach, all right? And then when you see the inductive, you can see that the flow of research is versus deductive, because first you have observation, then you have pattern, then you have tentative hypothesis, and then you go to the theory. It means that in inductive research, if I want to make it more simple, all right, in inductive research, you go from the small thing, from the little knowledge, from the just observation, go to the theory, all right? But in deductive, you go from the theory to the confirmation. They're exactly opposite. And sometimes when we do the research, we can see that we use both of these approach in our research. So it doesn't matter, all right? Sometimes we go from the general things to, and then focus on general things, and then focus more and then narrow to the some a special thing. I mean, to the specific or very focused theory. And sometimes we go from theory and become more wider, more complete, and then we come to the general. So it doesn't matter. We can use one of these methods or we can use mix of methods. All right. Just I put this aside that I give you some overview about what is deductive and inductive. When someone asks you, okay, you passed the research methodology class, so what's your idea about this deductive and inductive? You should know that deductive and inductive is the approach of the research. And this slide, you can see the both of them. So this is very simplified, these together, inductive and deductive. Okay, again, about the critical review, about literature review, we can say that to further refine research question and objectives, to discover recommendation for further research, to avoid repeating work already undertaken, and to provide insight into strategies and techniques appropriate to your research objective. So this is another reason that why we do literature review in our research or in our thesis. And again, and also this slide talk about that when you do literature review, you should think about what item, all right? You should search about that, how can you find your answer of your question, okay? So just read and analyze the literature and paraphrase it and talk about it, explain the journal that you read is not enough. You should just focus on your research topic, and you know that what do you want to take and extract from this reading that you have done, right? So always you should think about the answer of your question and to discover recommendation for future research. This is another important thing. When you read the article, at the end of the article you can see, for example, discussion, or you can see title future research or some title like this. So it means that the researcher propose and suggests the next researcher that what should he or she do, okay? This is a very important part of any article or journal. And also when you do literature review, of course, to avoid repeating work that's already undertaken, and also you can provide insight into strategies and techniques. For example, you use qualitative analysis, and then when you read lots of articles, after that you can understand that to all the related journal or related article to your topic, do in a quantitative, not qualitative. So you can understand that this method or this technique may be better. So when you read, you can learn lots of things about all the part of your research. All right. So when you read the article, also you should focus on the methodology and the method of the research that the writer talk about it. You can take all the points of the article. All right. Adapting a critical perspective, skills for effective reading. So these are the skills that make effective reading for you, all right? Reviewing, annotating, and summarizing, and comparing, and contrasting. So I suggest you, when you read the book, when you read the article or journal, you have a map on it. It means that, for example, you attach the paper on the first page, and then you write all the things that you learn from this article, but in a specific map. I mean, for example, you can describe as a time table, and then also you can put it with different parts. For example, research question, research objective, what's the conclusion of this research, what is the suggestion for future, and then fill up all this part of the form. And then it means we call it map, and then put on the article. Then after that, when you read, for example, 50 articles, 100 articles, when you see at the map of your article, so you can get the point after that, because it's not about only one or two that you can memorize all of them. After 10 articles that you read, maybe you forgot what happened in the first article, what was it about, and what's the point, and what's the relationship between this article to your topic, to your research. Is it useful or no? Can you refer it in your thesis or no? So it is a very good way that you do the map. And also use these skills, of course, comparing and contrasting, summarizing, annotating, and reviewing. Okay, adopting a critical perspective, number 2. The most important skills are the capacity to evaluate what you read and the capacity to relate what you read to other information. It's from Valid and very 2006. So the important thing when we do the literature, the most skill that we need is evaluate and relate. Evaluate means that we cannot just read it. We should analyze. We should evaluate. Okay, and the important part is relate. That how can we relate this information from this article to our topic, to our research, alright? Because sometimes we read some books or some articles that they are very interesting, they are very useful, but we cannot find any relationship between these and our research. So it doesn't have any point for us, okay? So we should choose the article that we can relate the information of that article to our research activity. So when you talk and when you think about the literature, always think about evaluate and relate. These are the key points. Okay, adopting a critical perspective, number 3 question to ask yourself. Okay, so when you read the article, you should ask yourself, why am I reading this? What is the author trying to do in writing this? How convincing is this? And what use can I make of this reading? Again, this slide talks about that. When you read and when you do the research, you should focus to these 4 questions. Also, you can put this question for your first paper that I asked you to put and attach it on your article when you read. And then when you map, then you can answer this question. So content of the critical review, you will need to include key academic theories, demonstrate current knowledge of the area, use clear referencing for the reader to find the original cited publication, and acknowledge the research of others. So these are the part of the content of the critical review. When you start to literature review, then see this slide again. The structure of the literature review, 3 common structure, a single chapter, a series of chapters, and throughout the report. As a sample I sent to you for MBA thesis, I asked you to put it in a single chapter, chapter 2 literature review, but it doesn't mean that only in chapter 2 you do the literature and review, and then in other chapter you haven't any literature review. It doesn't mean that. Because when you go to data analysis, when you go to research methodology part of your research, I mean chapter 3, chapter 4, when you want to have a conclusion and when you want to make a suggestion and recommendation of your research, alright, again you need to support your idea by literature review. Always you should use the literature, all right? But the most part of the literature review will become in chapter 2. So maybe I can say that we use a technical chapter and also throughout the report. All over the research. The key to critical literature review demonstrate that you have read, understood, and evaluated your material, link the different ideas to form a cohesive and coherent argument, make clear connection to your research objective and the subsequent empirical material. So this is also, I talk about it, and I think it's very clear. So now we go to this slide that Mr. Nawabi asked me. Categories of literature sources, okay? Primary, published and unpublished, secondary, and tertiary. And this category based on the Sanders et al. 2009. So when you see this slide, you can get the idea about the literature sources available. So primary means report, thesis, emails, conference proceedings, company report, unpublished manuscript sources, and some government publication, all right? And then secondary, it means journals, books, newspapers, some government publications. Then tertiary, it means indexes, abstract, catalog, and for example, citation indexes also is very important, and bibliography. All right. So these are the three main source of the literature based on Sanders et al. 2009. And another thing that you should get from this slide that when you go from the primary sources to tertiary, it means you increase time to publish. But when you move from tertiary to primary, it means increased level of detail. And this is very clear. When you have, for example, company report, it means this report includes lots of information, lots of details. So in primary, you can access lots of details. So because of this, we say when we close primary sources, we can improve and we can increase the level of the details. All right. But for example, maybe the company reports only 1 year, only once a year, or only, for example, twice a year, and it's not something. It takes a lot of time. Okay, so when you use the primary sources, you increase time to publish. It means the time that you can access to the publish of this source of data. But for example, indexes, abstract, catalog, no, they don't need lots of time to publish, so you can decrease time to publish. You can access them maybe every month or every 2 months, but the details become low, all right? Because the indexes and abstract and catalog doesn't include lots of information, lots of details. So it depends on you and your research, and that depends on that what kind of information you need. You can choose these three kinds of sources of literature. I don't know, Mr. Nawabi, can you give your question or no? Is it clear now? Okay. You asked that is the primary the preferred one. I cannot say which one is preferred because, in my opinion, uh, I like the research that they refer to lots of books because book also very important when someone wants to search or read, for example, 200 pages of book and just use from all of this book for 2 sentences. It means that how much this article, skillful. All right. Also, a journal very good source because journals are updated. And then when you write the thesis, always I will check your references. If your references all about, for example, 2009, 2008, 2007, you will miss some points because always you should update your literature review. So it means that when you submit your thesis in 2013, so at least your literature review should be for example, 2011, 2012, 2010, but not later than this. Because the academic research works when it is updated, all right? When you support your idea by the book or by the journal that they are from 2005, how can I rely on this research? It's not worse, okay? So I cannot say which one of them is more preferred or more better because all of them can be useful. All of them can give us useful information. All right? Okay, the literature search strategy, write down. Formats of your search, keywords and search term to be used, database and search engine to be used, the criteria for selection of relevant and useful studies, and discuss these with the tutor. Okay. So I think one of the skills that a student in this level, master or PhD level, also in bachelor level, should have its search through the web. Okay. Uh, I cannot say it's a skill, but when you use internet, we can get some experience that can help you. How can you find useful information through the web? And it depends on the key terms and words that you put in the search engine. Okay, so after you search in a website, for example, and when you use the search engine like Google, after a while you can be more, expert in this area. So this is important that how can you extract the information through the internet and web. Sometimes when you put just a space, maybe you can get the useful information. Just put one space between two words. So this is the thing that you should work with the search engine and internet, and then you can get the skill. And also you can discuss with me, and if you need any help, I can give you a hand. And sometimes a student told me that they cannot find lots of information in the website, in the internet, and then I search for them and send them the information. So it means that they cannot search correctly. And the search strategy 2, it means define the research parameters, generate keywords, discuss your research, brainstorm ideas, construct relevant tree, use computer software also. These are very clear. And approaches can include searching tertiary literature sources, obtaining relevant literature, scanning and browsing secondary literature, searching using the internet. So in this slide, again, cover your question, Mr. Nawawi, that you can use all of them. Okay, conducting a literature search to searching using tertiary literature. Ensure keywords match control index language, search appropriate printed and database sources, not a precise need values, including search strings, not the full reference of each search found. And then I want to tell you that when you search something in the web, all right, the key point that you should consider that you ensure that keywords match control index language. This is the first point. And then the other thing that you should know, you should count all of these references. You should bring all of these references at the end of your research. Okay, you find many information through the web. Okay, but all of them you should mention in the references, from which book, from which journal, with detail, the name of the authors, the year of the published, all of them. Okay, and then there are I think three most common methods for, or a style, I cannot say method, a style of the referencing. I think APA and Harvard and Chicago, I think. So you can use one of them. So for evaluating the literature, define the scope of your review, assess relevance and value, and assess efficiency. So evaluate and assess, all right, analyze, paraphrase, not just read. And recording the literature, again, as I told you, that you can put the map on each of the articles. Here again said you can record it. Biographic details, brief summary of content, supplementary information. And finally, we go to this part, plagiarism, okay? Or common forms: stealing materials from another source, submitting material written by another, copying material without quotation marks, paraphrasing material without documentation. So all of them can call as plagiarism, okay? So you should be careful about this, because we work and we project is under the academic area, all right? We don't do for something practical. This is the academic research. So you should you should be familiar with this consideration. And then 2 points I want to tell you, the more important. Okay, the first one, when you say exact sentence from another author, you should put in the quotation. You should mention in the footnote, and also you should mention it in the reference. All right. Another thing, if you don't put in the quotation, you cannot say the exact sentence. You should change it with your sentences. All right, and you should analyze it. It means that you should read the article and close the book or article and write with your own sentence and with your own idea. Okay, Mr. Nawabi, you asked me to explore more about the slides. It's okay, but some of the slides I talked about them before, all right? beginning of the class. So if you have any question, you can ask me. And if you, I think that some of them very clear, we talk about it. But if it's not clear and you need more explanation, okay, tell me that, explain more. No problem. Okay, for this slide, stealing material from another source. It means that you cannot use, when you read the article, when you read the journal, alright, you cannot steal the information from another source. If you use this source, you should mention in your references, okay? And submitting material written by another. This is very clear because, of course, you don't put exact article or exact research from other researcher and author in your research. This is very clear, okay? Or copying material without quotation marks. Quotation marks I explain for you. When you said that this exact sentences from other articles or books or journals or whatever that you use, exact sentence, it means you don't add or remove any word, so you should put in the quotation. It means that this sentence is not from me, it's from that author, that researcher, okay? And then put in the footnote also that this is the exact thing that comes from another source. And also references, you should mention it. And about paraphrasing material without documentation. It means that you use another researcher and author idea, and then you paraphrase it, you explain it. But in the references, you don't mention that this idea comes from that book or from that journal. All right. So this is another kind of the plagiarism. Can be used from another thesis by using it as a reference? Yes, of course. When you, Mr. Muhammad Aziz, when you do your research, one of the best work that you can do that you find some research or some thesis, the full thesis, all right, from other student or from other researcher that the topic is related to your topic. And then you read these theses and get idea that how this thesis is done, all right? And then you can use in your thesis some part of that you think it's related to your thesis, but you should mention it in the references. And always, if you use the idea, you should put in the references, okay? And you shouldn't use exact sentences because if also you put in the quotation, for example, in one page, in two page, in three page, maybe two or three times this command that you put in the quotation. But more than this, it's not command. You should explain with your own words. But this is very good work if you can find some research and thesis that's similar to your topic and read them, and you can also use from this information in your thesis. But of course, you should put in the reference. Okay, literature search requires three main categories of sources and clearly defined. All right, this slide, Mr. Nawabi, do you have any questions about paraphrasing and plagiarism? I don't have any question in the chat box. All right. A literature search requires three main categories of sources. Clearly define research question and objective, define parameters, use of techniques, brainstorming, or relevance research. Okay, three main categories of sources that I mentioned about it, primary, secondary, and tertiary. clearly define research question and objective. It means that when you do your literature review, you always think about the answer of your question of your research and objective of your research. I also talk about it. And define parameters. I mean, each research has some keywords, some parameters that always, when you do the literature review, you should focus on these parameters. Okay? And use of techniques, for example, brainstorming or relevance trees. Relevance trees, do you know what relevance trees? Who can explain me about relevance trees? Okay, I think no one knows. But about relevance trees, we talked in session, I think, 2 or 1. Doesn't matter, I explain for you. Relevance trees, it means that you have some center, parameters, some main and important parameters in your research, and then you can put it at the main part of your tree, for example, string. Okay. Okay. Yes. And then, for example, then you have some other parameters in your research that you should relate it to these main parameters. Okay, so we call it relevance trees. That means we have a tree with the main root. That this main root maybe call it as a keyword or key parameter of your research. And then we have some leaves and some other parts that we can relate all of them to your roots of your trees. So as you remember, I told you that when you do the research and thesis, always you should think about the research question and research objective because they are the main. And also you have some other information that always you should connect to the research objective and research question of your thesis. So it means that you have a relevance tree, all right? So always you do the research, you should focus on the main part of your research. And whatever you read and whatever you write, you should connect to this important part that I told you. The most important part of your thesis is chapter 1 because this is the body of your research. This is a very important part, that what is the problem statement, what is research question, research objective. So when you do the research review, when you do data collection, when you want to conclude and when you want to make a suggestion, so you should all these process under the main part. It means under the main part of your research. That I told you. Problem statement, research objective, and research question. So here the presentation is finished, but also I have another 8 slides that I want to share to you and explain about them. Okay, Mr. Nawadi asked me that I mentioned that Fishbone analysis is the tools for analyzing the problem and find the root of the problem. Yes, maybe something similar to Fishbone, but as you explained that Fishbone is about to find the root of the problem. So this one can be under relevance trees because, but it is very similar. Because in research, of course, we search for answer the problem statement and find the solution for, problem of our research. But also we should have a conclusion. Also, we should have a recommendation and suggestion, and also we have a methodology like, for example, data collection, data analysis. That some of them only can come to the to recommendation part. So, but the main whole, yes, it's like a fishbone, but something more than only like a fishbone. Can you get my idea? This is very similar, but our research may be more than only find the root of the problem, because we cannot just find the root of the problem and that's finished. Then if we find the root of the problem, now our task is start. Okay, how can we uh, solve this problem, and what is the recommendation, what is the suggestion, what is the next step for the research, all right? And when we find the root of the problem, then we go to data collection and analyze the collection to find the solution for this problem. So because of this way, we can say that a fishbone can be under the registry maybe, okay? This is my idea, but also you can search internet and you can read about it, and if you have, also I will do, and if we have a new thing, we can share together. This is very good, but fishbone also is very similar. It's a good example. So I think Mr. Nawabi also said that he asked me the question and I ignore. I don't know which question exactly. Maybe you asked me about annotating. Yes, you mean this question? When you ask me what is annotating, it means that okay, annotating. If you know the meaning of annotating, it's very clear. Annotating means you write something, and when you read something, you make some notes on your article, on your books. You know? Can you get it now? It's not a new. It's not new word, and it's not a word especially for research methodology that I want to explain to you. Annotating is everywhere. When you want to do annotating, it means you want to make notes when you read. But the best annotating is mapping that I ask you to put on your article. No, it's okay. Don't worry, you can ask me lots of questions. It doesn't matter. If I know, I answer you. If I don't know, then I will go and read about it, and then next session I will explain to you. We are in research methodology class, so this class, it means that we want to do the research, and research is about the process of learning. It's not something that happens only in one semester, in one class, in one presentation, all right? So we are here that we can share our knowledge, our experience, and we can do the better research and the better thesis. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes I feel tired, or maybe I think that you know about this. I just go to the next slide, doesn't explain to you. It doesn't matter. You can mention that you have problems, you have questions, and then again I will explain to you. So, all right. If you don't have any other questions, so feel free to ask me any question. If I don't know, I say, okay, I don't know. All right, no problem. You can ask me. If I know, I will answer. If no, we can search together and share together our knowledge in next class. So up to now, if you have any question, you can ask me now. If no, we can go to the second presentation that I prepared for you. And in my class, this is another thing I want to say. In my class, I like a student that they ask me at least, how are you? Okay? This is a simple question, but it means that they are in the class. But sometimes a student doesn't have any question, doesn't say anything. Then I say, okay, maybe they are the perfect. But after that, when I see their work, they understand, no, they are not perfect, but they are not in the class when they are at the I see the icon that they are on. Okay? So please ask me, please be more active. Today is our third session, but up to now only I received one topic from the student. And I hope that rest of the class send me the topic by this week, hopefully. All right, for next presentation. Yes, Mr. Navadi, I received your topic, and at the end of the class, I will discuss to you with your topic, about your topic, okay? We have to talk about it after this presentation. Okay, I put another 8 slides in this presentation just to give you the whole idea about the dissertation and research proposal and what's different between them. And then that's it. It's not too much related to previous presentation. Because of this, I separate these two presentations. So what does doing a dissertation involve? A research proposal, a research project, and thesis. So a research proposal, a document that defines what the project is about, why is it important, and how is it to be carried out. A research project, all activities that go towards completing the dissertation, and a thesis, an argument or proposition supported by evidence or literature. So I don't need this specification and this classification of the dissertation, but just I want to tell you that a research proposal is very important because most of the time when you want to talk about your research and you want to talk about your thesis, you should have your research proposal. Research proposal, most content of research proposal is in chapter 1. In research proposal, you will talk about that what is the project about, so it means the background or introduction of your research, and then why is it important. It means you should talk about the significance of your research, and how it's to be carried out. It means you should talk about the methodology of your research. That means how you want to collect the data, how you want to analyze the data, and what is your research question, what is the research objective, how you want to connect this analysis to this part of your research. These are contents of research proposal. The process of doing a dissertation. Phase 1, getting started, select a topic, write this topic. Phase 2, writing a critical literature review. Phase 3, devising research questions. Phase 4, research process. Phase 5, writing it up. It is possible to look back at various stages. So this is a sample about the process of doing dissertation. About phase 1, getting started, we talk about it. We talk about select the topic and how can we select the topic and why this topic. I talk about topic next session. About phase 2, that include writing a critical literature review, we talk today, okay? and about research process and methodology. We will talk in our next classes. And finally, after all of them, we can start to write it. Okay, write our test. I can get your point, Mr. Navid. Any example, please, Mom, when there's something presented like the first slide? What do you mean, which slide? Why don't you talk to the class? Why don't you put in the chat box? I don't know. So it's not clear. Here, slide number 2. Okay, number 2. This is slide. Okay. This slide said that what is the research proposal that I explained to you, and a research project, all activities that go towards completing the dissertation. So when I want to tell you, when they ask you about what is your research proposal, you should talk about the research objective, question, methodology, how it's carried out, why your research is important. But when they ask you about what is the research project, it means all activity, whatever that you have done for data collection, data analysis, and whatever that you have done to complete your research. Okay, so they are a little bit different with each other, but it's not very important because they are the words that we can play with these words. But as a whole, the more important thing is research proposal, because most of the place that we use our research, they ask us research proposal. But research project means the activity that you do to find and to complete the dissertation, okay? And then a thesis, an arrangement or proposition supported by evidence or literature. It means that the whole of them, the whole idea, that you come you can get it from the evidence, from the literature, from whatever that you have done, from the analysis, like this. So these are the words that in this slide, just I put that you know that research proposal what is, a thesis what is, and the research project. And then when you do your research, after that you can understand this classification. Now you don't have any topic now, so you cannot have any idea about this. Okay, but after that, when you do your research, when I say, okay, explain me about the activity that help you to complete your dissertation, you know that what activity you do. Okay, and then I ask you, okay, please send me your research proposal. As you, if you see in the Facebook, I put, for example, okay, research proposal defense for semester October. It means I ask them to bring their research proposal. What is the research proposal? Is about all that they do up to, for example, conclusion, up to recommendation. All right. So these are the terms that we can explain about them, and maybe I say I ask the research proposal include this part. In other places they ask you something different. But as a whole idea, most of the time research proposal conclude about the include about the research objective, research question, and problem statement, and the methodology of your research. This is fixed, okay? But maybe sometimes we can add or remove some parts. Project, when we talk about project, means activity. Means activity that help us to do the research, to complete it. And thesis and dissertation are different in this case. Okay. Mr. Nawabi asked me when the time for our research proposal submitting. Uh, I think when I ask you to have a pre-defense, it means that you should submit your research proposal. And then in final defense, you can bring all of your thesis. But if a student have finished their research, also in research proposal defense, they can bring all of their thesis. I send you the email regarding the timetable and schedule of your intake. Okay, so just follow this timetable. I mentioned which day is for pre-defense, which day is for final defense, and how is it. Okay. This is again, I put the process of doing dissertation that we talk about it in more detail. So here I want to talk about the multi-stage process for choosing your project. Okay. First, about topic that we talked before, identify broad topic and academic disciplines. Okay. For example, today, when I want to talk about Mr. Nawabi topic, I can mention some points regarding to this slide. That academic discipline, how is it for choosing the topic? Okay, determine the scope, brainstorm, question, puzzle, map and structure the issues, conduct a literature review, frame your research question, convert RQ into objective meaning, research question into objective. Many times I put this slide to say you how important part of the
hello, ma'am. Do you hear?
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Just I had a question. If you kindly please give an example. For example, when we identify both topic and academic discipline. For example, what is called a both topic and how or academic discipline? How we can make it identify it, and how we can make it from the broad to the shortened way for explaining it.
Okay.
Just like because this is just a sentence we cannot understand. For example, if you say broad topic, there are I don't know what do we mean by the broad topic here.
Okay. Finish. All right. So broad topic, it means that you cannot choose the very general topic in your for your research. Okay. For example, you cannot choose a strategic management in Afghanistan. For example, it is not the academic discipline. It doesn't have academic discipline. It is very broad. It is very general. It is very broad topic. When we do the research, it means we want to do something special. So it means we should narrow, all right? So we should put the topic in 8 words, not too long, not too short, with all the details, all right? That means academic discipline. Because of this, I ask you to send me your topic, because these are, as you said, only some words that's not clear for you. Because as a practical way, you can understand what is it, okay? When you send me your topic, I said, okay, you should change this part, this word, and then you can get the idea that how should you prepare your topic. Because it is correct, there are only a few words and you cannot get any idea, all right? But as a practical way, when we have a presentation of the student, Okay, when you can attend the defense of other students, then you can get the idea of how is the topic. About the previous student topic, I still remember that I should send to you, but this week I was very busy. Sorry, I cannot send to you, but I try to do my best and send this topic by maybe the day after tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but tomorrow I can. But I promise you to send this topic by another 2 days, okay? And then you can see how is the academic topic can be. For example, because now I receive one only topic uh, from Mr. Nawabi. No, from, sorry, Mr. Aman Nawabi. Yes, yes, from Mr. Nawabi. Uh, the thesis title, he mentioned that role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan, public and administration reform, and then put the slash, and then mention role of HRMIS in civil service management. So, I don't know, is it clear for you, or maybe I write for you? Role of, oh, okay, wait. Mr. Nawabi, can you write your thesis in the chat box as a sample that we can talk about it now? Is it possible for you? Mr. Nawabi, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Please write your topic that you sent to me. All right. Then we will discuss about it, and maybe it's more clear for you. But as a important point, I can tell you, Mr. Navid, that broad topic, it means general topic, it means very wide topic. It's not acceptable in academic area. In academic area, we should focus on something that's very specific, okay? We cannot talk about general. I give you example. For example, you cannot mention that strategic management in Afghanistan. For example, you should talk about that. Okay, a strategic management. Which part of a strategic management? In which area? All right. Only in Afghanistan is whole of the Afghanistan, or only one province? Okay, and then in which department? In which industry? All right. So, for example, you can mention strategy policies in agriculture ministry of Afghanistan. So you can see how it's narrowed down. And then after that, when I see your research and read again, maybe I ask you, okay, this is again wide. It's wide. It's general. Your topic only focus on, for example, one department of Ministry of Agriculture in Afghanistan. So this is that you should narrow down your topic to the specific one. Okay, is it clear now? Yes, I can explain for you, but I don't know which slide you cannot get the idea. And then another point, when you are not, your work is not parallelly come with my slides, so you cannot get any idea. All right, because today, if you have a topic, now when I explain this slide, you can get more idea about it. But when you don't have any topic, you don't do anything up to now, Next session, I want to talk about the methodology. You don't have a topic now. You don't have a research question. So how can I understand about methodology, all right? So another point is, this is only the class for 2 hours, but most of this is based on you. So you should go home and see the slides again and ask me, all right? Again, if you have any question, I will answer you. Fine, all right? No problem. And I try to explain for you. Now, back to the chat box. You see Mr. Nawabi, this is your topic? Your topic? Oh, okay. So everyone, I ask everyone to see the chat box. The role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan public administrative reform. Role of okay. You see how is it lined? It is two lines for the topic. Role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan public administrative reform. And then you mentioned in civil service management. The first point, in the topic we cannot use abbreviation. All right. So when you put role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan, so doesn't need to put
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I explain it?
No, I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
First listen to my point, then you can explain. All right. So it's not only for Mr. Nawabi, for all of you, that when you use the whole the complete word, it doesn't need that you put the abbreviation. All right. So here, the role of human resource management information system, is it okay? In Afghanistan public administrative reform, also is okay. In civil service management. So this is the final topic, okay? That you should just omit again the role of HRMIS. And let's see again, role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan public administrative. In Afghanistan public, okay, reform in civil service management. That's good. Yes, that's fine. You see, Mr. Navid, for example, if Mr. Nawawi only mentioned role of human resource management information system in Afghanistan public administrative reform. And then when I read his thesis, I understand that he focused only in civil service management. So then I asked him, please put civil service management only, all right? Or if he only puts role of human resource management information system in civil management in Afghanistan. Then I read the thesis and see he put lots of things about the reform, public administrative reform. Then I asked him, please put this reform also in your topic. So this is the way that we can talk about topic in academic area. So this topic is okay, and you can see as a finalized topic, Mr. Nawabi, just drop this one, role of HRMIS, because it's making too long and it doesn't need, all right? And then after that, when you write the table of contents, you put one part as a key term, and then or operational term, something like this. And then when you talk about HRMIS, then you can put in the parentheses. Also, if you use lots of abbreviation in your thesis, you should put before starting the research one page as the abbreviation and mention all of these words, the complete one, and then abbreviation also. That the reader, the person who reads your thesis, is familiar with all of these abbreviations. This is good topic. You can choose it, and you can continue and start your research. Now, if you have any explanation, you can type.
Good evening, everyone. My classmates, madam. Actually, the topic, the slash I have put in the topic. Actually, I had two choices, two topics, and I put it a slash between them. The first one was a role of human resource management information in Afghanistan public administrative reform. And I put a slash that I can use role of HRMI or role of human resource management information system and civil service management. I put it the slash because I left it for you to decide which topic is best for me to select.
Okay, you see how is it confused? Because I cannot get also your point. All right. So as this way, okay, role of human resource management in Afghanistan public administration reform or in civil service management. Okay, because the first topic you want to see the effect of human resource management information system in this reform, but the second one is in another area, is about service management. So these are totally different with each other, yes?
Actually, ma'am, somehow they are similar because I'm working with the Civil Service Commission of Afghanistan. So the mission of the Civil Service Commission is to implement public administrative reform across all civil service sector of Afghanistan. So the topic, because the public administrative reform is one of the goals of the government of Afghanistan, and that looked to me more important. But when I discussed it with my director, he advised me that I can get my topic, I can select my topic, the second one, role of HRMI in civil service management. I just wrote it in abbreviation just for you for in the chat box, but it won't come in this topic. The topic will be role of human resource management information in civil service management. So both are in the same area, but with a different scope, with the different different areas. But I think the civil service management will be more wider, and the public administrative reform will be a little bit narrower than the civil service management. But the area are somehow the same with the civil service management of Afghanistan. Actually, we are working. I'm the advisor for implementation of the HRMI system through all Afghanistan civil service ministries and agencies. So they are somehow the same, but coming to the importance of my thesis, because I think that my thesis will be benefit the government of Afghanistan. That's why I selected this topic, because in this area we face a very problem when we go to find some basic baseline data, and there is no research in regard to this subject. That's why I selected this topic, and I think in coming to its importance, the first topic will be more important in my mind. I don't know if it's clear for you or not.
Okay, if you ask me which one is better, I cannot say you which one is better. Both of them is possible, okay? So you should think about two things. The first one, the data collection. In which of them you access to data more, you can collect the data easily. And the second point is that the effect of your the research. Okay, if you think that after that you can use the research in your organization, so you should listen to your head of your organization. If he said that this topic is more useful for your organization, it means that very good. After you finish this research, you can make it practical and you can use this research. All right. So this is 2 points: data collection and how you want to use this research after finish it. So it depends on you. I don't know that which of them is better for data collection, and also I don't know which of them is more useful in terms of your organization. All right. So you can think about these 2 items and then choose one of them. But
okay, thank you. Thank you.
If you choose
yes.
role of HRMIS in civil service management, also you should put at the end in Afghanistan. All right, and that's it. And I don't know if you choose the first one. You mean the scope is again civil service management?
Yeah, actually the public administration reform is being implemented in the civil service management sector.
So you should put it, yeah. If you only in service only in civil service management, so you should put in civil service management, and also in Afghanistan.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And you can
I will discuss it with my manager and director and see what is their opinion, and I will select one of them.
Yeah. Because both of them,
Thank
in terms
you.
of this final project, but both of them is acceptable. But it depends on you. So about problem statement, research question, and research objective that you mentioned here, I will email to you my idea. All right. Okay. No, I don't know.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Navid, is it more clear for you now as a sample? I give you example. Yes. Okay. And then table of cluster will be used for abbreviation. Yes, Mr. Navabi, a table of cluster is very good if you use for abbreviation. And okay, there is not any other question. All right. So this is also the slide in an example that identify broad topic and academic discipline. That first we have area, field, aspect, then we go to the topic. You see how wide is it at the first, and then when you go to the topic, it becomes very narrow, right? For example, the area is public relations. The field is advertising. The aspect and topic, corporate identity. So you can see the effects of TV advertising on, I cannot read it, perception of corporate identity. So this is the example that at the end, the topic becomes the effect of TV advertising on perception of corporate identity. And or for example, another example is area is industrial relation, field is employment law, aspect and topic is about the national and minimum wage. So the topic comes to a comparative study of the effect of the regulation on to the industrial sector. Yes, agree, Mr. Navid. It's not readable because I don't know, the color is not good. Let me put here. Let me finish and then come back to this slide again. Okay, about high quality research. Now I put this slide that you know about the high quality research, and then after that about what is the bad research. All right. So just see these points. It is based on the work of others. So when you do the high quality research, so you should read a lot about others researcher, and your work should be based on others. For example, when Mr. Nawawi do the HRMIS, so it's good if he see that before him who did some research or some thesis about this, about HRMIs in Afghanistan. All right. Is there any research? Is there any project? Is there any thesis before him? And then he should read and then start from the next step. Okay. So the high quality research should be based on the work of others. That means it can be replicated, duplicated, and it shouldn't be. And it's generalizable to other settings. It is based on some logical, rational, and tied to theory. For most of the research, you should have the theory, the whole base theory, you know, as a mother theory that whole of your research should be connected to this theory, should be under this theory, and this theory can support your idea. But sometimes when you do the research, we cannot find a specific theory for our research. So then we should go and find the model that we can talk about this model, improving this model in our research. So it depends on your topic. Maybe the whole of your topic, whole of your research is involved based on the theory or maybe based on the model. And it generates new questions or is cyclical in nature, and it is incremental, it is political activity that should be undertaken for the betterment of society. So all of them said that if you do the good literature review, then your work shouldn't be duplicated, and it should be doable, and you know that this research can help the society for betterment of life. All right. So you should think about this point when you want to do your research, that it should be doable. It means can you use it from this research? Can this research help the society? Has any positive effect? And of course, based on others' work. Mr. Nawawi asked me, what if there is no prior research? You cannot say that there is nothing about HRMIS, for example, but maybe you are the first. Okay, maybe you are the first. So if you cannot find the exactly topic that relates to your topic, exactly research or, for example, thesis, but you should read about HRMIS in other countries, not only in Afghanistan, in other countries, and you can see that how is in other countries run this program. And for example, for the sample, you can see first in the mother countries, in developing countries, in developed countries, and then when you want to have a conclusion, you should compare Afghanistan with some countries with the same situation, all right? And then you can get the idea. So nothing can be cause you that you say, okay, I cannot do literature review because no one do this. No, there is not
yes, madam.
Good support.
My concern was my concern was that can I use some case studies or some cases from other countries because I'm talking about the HRMS in Afghanistan.
Yes, when you do the literature review, it means that you should relate to your topic. It doesn't mean that 100% similar. So you can find only HRMIs in the journals or in the book or in whatever. Okay,
yeah.
Just find about HRMIs.
My other question is that besides the previous researches, can I use the historical data which is available in the government with our inside our offices? So is it possible to use those historical data of the HRMIs and also alongside with the questionnaires and the data which will be coming from the other users of the system?
Yeah, all of them you can use, as I mentioned in the source of the literature. One of them is a company report, yes. So you can use all of this research, but about the questionnaire, you should spread out the new questionnaire. You cannot use same as questionnaire that before, okay? But from that questionnaire, you can get the idea that how is the question should be, and then create your questionnaire.
Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome. And finally, about the bad research. The opposite of what have been discussed, and looking for something when it simply is not to be found. Sometimes, when you do the research, we find very interesting topic, but we cannot found it. It means we cannot explore this topic. We cannot make any conclusion. We cannot make any recommendation, suggestion. So it's not a good topic. A good topic is a topic that you can investigate about the problem. You can solve the problem. You can answer the question, okay? And then plagiarism, other people's work, of course, this is very bad and very bad work. Because of this, I ask my students to send all of the documents to me. It means that if they copy from others' work, then they don't have their questionnaire or they don't have the interview form, something like this. So I ask the student, also you, all of you, that send me all of the documents, attach all of the documents, include questionnaires, all the questionnaires, and include interview form and all things that you have done. That make sure that this is your work. It's not duplicate. It's not others' work. The other thing is falsifying data to prove a point. Sometimes we have a problem. We have a problem statement in our research. We have a question in our research. And then we arrange the information. We arrange the data analysis to conclude the thing that we think it is correct. This is very bad research because the research is about to find new things, okay? It's not your idea. You shouldn't talk about your idea. All the things that you should do in the research, you should support by your data collection. You should support by data analysis. You should support by literature review. So doesn't try to, arrange the thing, go to the conclusion that make it very beautiful for your research question and research objective, and it works, okay? Because it's not a research. So don't falsify data to prove a point. And then another point is misrepresenting information and misleading participants. This is again something like the last point. It means that information, you cannot lead the information to come to something that prove your theory or hypothesis. If you cannot reach the hypothesis after you data analysis, it means you are in a wrong way. Your hypothesis is not true, so you should change your hypothesis. You should do your data collection again and again, because this is a process of learning. We want to create something new and, of course, true. So we shouldn't lead and push the information that cover our idea, our hypothesis, that say, okay, because of this conclusion, meaning that our hypothesis is true, the research is okay, and the conclusion like this, because it's not a good work, okay? That's all. I think the presentation finished now. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Madam, I have a question regarding the type of research, the difference between the academic research and the managerial or management researches. Are there big differences between these two types of research, or they are somehow similar?
Okay, the way of doing the research is somehow similar, okay? But when you want to present the research, the difference appears, okay? When you want to present your research for the manager of some organization, then you should talk about the conclusion, you should talk about the recommendation, suggestion, because they want to know that this research, how can help the organization, okay? But when you present your research in the academic area, for example, here in WWS, of course, I ask you about the conclusion, I ask you about the recommendation, but literature review also very important for me. I want to know that how do you run this research, okay? So in academic area, all right, the research should be more complete, okay? It should be include the literature review, the methodology, the data analysis, data connection, all of this, because we want to see the scientific process, okay? We want to see the sequences that you come to these results. But in managerial research, or when you want to bring your research to the organization or company or some practical way, all right? So they don't ask you that, what do you read, how is your literature review? They don't, it doesn't matter for them that what you do. Only the impact is important for them. Okay, you do all of them, so finally, what is your idea? Okay, so the focus on the part of the research is different. For both of them, you do the research, you should have a methodology, you should have analyzed the data, you should do the literature review. But the focus for academic area is for all of these chapters, all of this that you have done. But for managerial, only the important thing is chapter 5 maybe, the conclusion and suggestion and recommendation. They don't ask you a lot about the literature review because it doesn't matter for them. One article you read or 10 articles you read, the point, the idea, what is your new idea for this problem is the point for them, okay? So I can say as a concluding comment that the process of doing research always same. It means that all of the research should have research question, should have research objective, should have problem statement. You should know what is the problem that encourage you to do this research. Of course, you should do lots of literature that you can understand what is the problem. You should do the literature review and data analysis and collection. But when you want to use this research in practical way, you focus only on recommendation and suggestion and something like this. But the way of doing research is same, okay? But the use of the research is different. Can you, is it clear now? Can I explain good for you or no?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Navi, do you have any question? Because the raise hand item is here. Okay, I ask all of you to review the slides because here we have limit time. I cannot explain all of these slides. I try to do my best, but you should also try, all right? Because research is not a technique or it doesn't have a special formula that I can give you and you can use it and then everything finish successfully. It is a process. When we talk about the process, it means that only need time and effort, okay? You should try hard. As I told you before, you are the student in third semester, I think, third time that I have a student for final project. So my expectation is high from you. So I ask you to do your job on time. Please send me your topic by end of this week. Please start your search, review the slides, ask me the question via the email in the class, okay? And then you can improve your work. Thank you very much. I hope I receive your topic by end of this week. And in next session, we can discuss about your topic more and have a productive class, hopefully, next time. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me now. I will send the slides of today by emails to you, both presentation. I will attach to the email, and please review them. And again, if you have any other question regarding to this slide or last session slide, please ask me via the email. Okay, if there's no other question, we can finish the class now. No question? Okay, thank you for attending this session. Hope to see you in next week class. Have a nice time. Goodbye.